Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite sandwiches from my childhood with the help of my sponsor, FoodSaver. Alongside the recipe, I'll walk you through a few ways I like to use this vacuum seal machine in relation to this beautiful chicken Caesar sandwich. Okay, let's dive in. So the first thing I'm going to do for this recipe is to pound out a few chicken breasts to achieve a relatively even cooking time across the breast when I grill it. Plus, it's a bit more sandwich friendly. Fold a few sheets of plastic wrap onto each other to use on the top and bottom of the breast while you flatten it out with the backside of a pot, pan, or the flat side of a meat tenderizing mallet if you have one. When the breasts are flattened, place them into a bowl, or in this case, for me, these nifty preserve and marinade containers from FoodSaver that will help speed up the marination process. You're gonna add sliced red onions, Dijon mustard, olive oil, some chopped garlic, rosemary, and thyme, along with some sliced lemon zest, and finally some freshly cracked black pepper. Give the breasts a few flips to cover all sides and the flavors, then pop the lid on top. And with this lovely handheld vacuum seal extension, turn the mode to marinate, and you can seal all those incredible flavors into the meat by the miracle of vacuum seal technology. Normally I would let this marinate for an hour or two in the fridge, but with the marinate feature on the FoodSaver VS3000, it pulls a vacuum seal and releases it several times over the course of about 12 minutes, and it's ready to go. Another thing I really love about this is the little rubber vacuum seal indicator on top of the container that lets you know it's seriously putting on the pressure for maximum flavor absorption. Next up is the focaccia. I made a video on this very same focaccia recipe a while back, so I'll put a link in the description box below for more on that recipe if you're interested. But once the dough is done proofing, remove the plastic, press into the dough using your fingers to create little dimples, chop up some rosemary and thyme, and sprinkle that over the top along with a drizzle of olive oil and a finishing touch of Maldon salt. Put this in a 375-degree oven for 15 minutes, then turn the oven to 500 degrees for the last 5 minutes of baking to achieve a really deep golden brown crust. Now comes my favorite part other than actually eating the sandwich, making Caesar dressing from scratch. So in a large bowl, add in 2 egg yolks, Dijon mustard, white wine vinegar, a good helping of Worcestershire sauce, chopped garlic, rosemary and thyme, a splash of hot sauce, and a pinch of salt. Give this a whisk, then start to slowly pour in the canola oil until the mixture starts to thicken. You're gonna finish the dressing with some olive oil, Parmesan cheese, and fresh lemon juice to taste. When I make a dressing like this, it can be a little tedious, as you can see, so I tend to make quite a bit of it in one go. And with these preserve and marinate containers, it really locks in the freshness of the dressing for a long time and helps prevent your fridge from smelling like a giant Caesar salad. Also, these containers are really good at compartmentalizing a recipe, so when you're ready to go, you've got the bulk of the meal planned out ahead of time, which is kind of a lifesaver when you have a family. Now, once the focaccia is done baking, pull it out of the oven and let it rest for about 20 minutes just to cool off. Just like the dressing, when I make bread from scratch, I tend to make a few loaves for the week, and I don't want any of it to go to waste. If you've ever made homemade bread, it is very susceptible to going stale quicker than store-bought varieties. So again, these containers from FoodSaver are an incredible preservation tool for quality and shelf life, specifically when it comes to the world of bread. There's definitely a deflated feeling when you come back to freshly baked bread that someone didn't wrap properly after a late night snack, so this makes things kind of a no-brainer. Okay, so next up, it's time to start grilling. So get your outdoor grill or a simple grill pan like this on high heat and grill the marinated chicken breasts on both sides for about 5 to 6 minutes aside. Once it is cooked all the way through and has really good grill marks, transfer it to a tray and you're gonna grate some Gouda on the top along with a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. Broil this in the oven for about 2 minutes until the top is crispy and bubbly. While the cheese is getting nice and toasty in the oven, slice the focaccia in half and remove some of the crumb in the dough, otherwise the sandwich will get a little too bready. The crumb of this bread makes some of the best croutons and breadcrumbs, so make sure to save it for later. After that, you're gonna toss some romaine lettuce with the homemade Caesar dressing until evenly coated, and it's finally time to build out the sandwich. So first I like to spread a little of the dressing on both top and bottom halves of the focaccia, then gently lay down the dressed romaine lettuce, then comes the sizzling grilled chicken breast, a little bit more dressing over the top of that, sliced red onions, and then finish the sandwich with the top half of the focaccia, and that is it. A very impressive and beautiful chicken Caesar sandwich ready to be devoured. What's up, guys? I had a lot of fun making this grilled chicken Caesar sandwich with freshly baked focaccia. I gotta say, it's a beautiful looking sandwich, as you guys can see, very kind of rustic looking. If I had a wood burning oven, I'd use that for sure. I used to actually get this at a local grocery store. I'd skate down from where I lived in a mobile home park up in Topanga Canyon. They had this beautiful wood fire oven. They'd cook these little flatbreads and make this incredible grilled chicken Caesar sandwich. And I've always craved it. Ever since I tried it the first time, and it was one of those things that I'd definitely be scrounging for money around the house just to get that sandwich every once in a while. So it's fun to recreate it. So let me dive in and run through the flavors. I actually just ate a quarter of this as my lunch, and it's quite fantastic, but let me run through the flavors with you guys. Wow. The focaccia has such a beautiful flavor, nice caramelized crust. The herbs on top really come through, a lot of floral, herbaceousness, and that Caesar dressing is insane. I definitely highly recommend putting the red onions on there, especially if you guys like onions. It's really not like a spicy flair like normal because there's so much going on, and that Caesar dressing just kind of cuts through some of that, the spiciness of the onions, and just it blends so well with all the flavors, plus it gives a nice little crunch along with the romaine lettuce. This sandwich is as close as I could have gotten to the one I used to buy as a kid. I mean, the flavors are like 98% there, other than some of the secret recipes they had in their own kitchen that I wasn't privy to. But this is as close as it gets. Really beautiful. I know some of you might think it's a little overdressed, but it's definitely a bready sandwich. That's why I took some of the crumb out of the bread. But all in all, just a beautiful, well-rounded sandwich with lots of beautiful grilled flavors, caramelized crust, crispy, tangy, just a lot of wonderful flavors. I want to thank FoodSaver for sponsoring this video. I had a lot of fun using this vacuum seal machine. Super, super convenient in storing a lot of different things. You could definitely store the bread in that, like I showed you in the video. You could store the dressing, you can marinate. A lot of fun different functions with the vacuum seal and the marinade feature on it. I had a load of fun using that. So again, thank you for FoodSaver for helping me out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this take on a beautiful chicken Caesar sandwich. I know there's lots of different variations out there, and you can absolutely simplify this. Super, super easy recipe. So if you guys enjoyed, give this video a like. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you like this recipe and if you guys use vacuum sealers in your own home. Make sure you check the description box below for ingredient lists and equipment lists and things like that, and more information on this Food Saver vacuum seal unit. And I will see you guys next time with another recipe. Later, folks.